Hello, my sweet friends. Welcome to the Arc Cake Coach podcast. My name is Cristina Revalo. I'm a sugar paste modeling artist, a teacher, a coach for cake artists, Caje Friends Stay Creative community manager, award winning cake decorator, and representative of international cake competitions. I'm so happy to have you here. If you are a cake artist, a cake enthusiast, or a baker who is seeking some help, in anything related to your time management, social media management, setting your goals for yourself or your business, your mindset towards your business, or even a few hints of how to be part of the international cake community, cake collaboration, and cake competitions, you are in the right place. So, welcome to today's episode. Hello, my sweet friend. Welcome back. How are you today? You're back. You came back to this episode after the welcome episode. Thank you so much for sticking there with me. And wow, it's great to have you back. Thanks for being here with me. And I really have only one wish. I wish that any of the things that I say in this podcast can be of help to you. So, as I said before, I want to share with you a little bit of my story. I mentioned that in the previous episode because maybe you're me 10 years ago or you're me 10 years from now. And you will either say, I can relate to this, or I want to get where Christine is now. I always share on my communities and my groups that every level of expertise, every level of knowledge has to be respected because we all started at some point and we're all in a path and we're going to get somewhere someday. So be proud of whatever stage you're in. If either you're a beginner, you're starting your cake journey, if you've been there for a while like me, or if you have been there for a very long time and now you're a figure to be followed. uh be happy about it, be thankful about it, be proud about it, and be respectful of everybody's journey. So, like I said before, you can either relate to where I am now or you can say, I want to get there. So I really hope that either way I can be of help. We're always learning, evolving, and growing. Respect every level, be grateful and humble with your wins and your victory. But let's talk about what we were talking about today. Let's talk about me talking about being humble. I promised last episode that I was going to talk about how and why I started this journey. Where I am from Venezuela, and I moved to Portugal 14 years ago. No, 14 now. I started my business 14 years ago. I moved to Portugal actually, it's going to be 19 years ago, 18, I'm not sure. My kid was a year old, so yeah, 18 years ago. I moved here because my husband is Portuguese, so I decided to start to work from home. I've been an ESL English teacher for a while. That's what I did for living, and classes. The hours of the classes could be difficult for me with my baby, so I decided to start a business that I could start from home, and that's how my cake business started. I was able to take care of my family and having time, uh, enough time to be at home and to take care of the family. um I thought I was going to have time for me and I could manage my time too. If any of you can relate to that, many years along the path you realize that's not true, but anyway, my business has evolved. In 14 years, it started as a baking business. I started creating baking cakes and selling cakes from home, birthday cakes. I started doing it all: birthday cakes, wedding cakes, christening cakes, cupcakes, cookies. Then everything started to, let's say, fall into more the birthday cakes, not so big. I feel more comfortable doing smaller cakes. And then I discovered my passion for sugar paste modeling, and things start changing, right? So my baking business from home changed to thousand new things. um, Teaching, also teaching gelatin art. I started going around Portugal teaching gelatin. I found that I love teaching, not only English, but I love teaching cake decoration. And things started to change. Then one day, I don't know if you remember, a couple of years ago, pandemic hit, and our cake business had was hit very hard during the pandemic because we all depends on parties and celebrations to have cake orders. And me and many of my friends, well, my cake business was slowing down before the pandemic, but I saw many of my cake friends struggle because they have big investments, and they depending on wedding seasons to survive. And um things just start get complicated, economically complicated, and even depression hit to some of my friends. It was hard time. And when the pandemic hit, I decided to create a group on Facebook called Caje Friends Stay Creative. The idea behind the group was just that, to stay creative during the pandemic, to stay in touch, to talk about cake recipes, to share things. And to my surprise, the group grew. I don't want to make the story too long, but the group, who started with 37 people, grew to now we're at about 7,000, or almost 7,000, from all over the world, because one friend invited the other, then everybody started getting in. And the idea of the group was always very open to share, to be positive, to maintain the positive spirit, to to be a company for each other. There were people who were alone at home, so it was hard, and we try to be, a helping hand, a friend in the other side of that computer. What happened is Cake Friends Stay Creative made me a known person, because everybody was like, "Oh, we know Christina." I mean, there's 7,000 people in the world who know who I am. It's like, that's a lot. That, that's a lot. Never in my life I would have dreamed of that. And of course, Cake Friends Stay Creative opened many doors for me that I wouldn't have the possibility to be part of if not because of that. So now I'm part of cake competition, cake collaborations. I am friends with my idols, people that I follow on social media from far away, that were like mentors to me on the cake decoration world. Now I can call them friends. I'm part of a big community. People know who I am. I have now different business opportunities. I have my online school, my YouTube channel. Everything has grown exponentially because of this. And now I started a coaching program for cake artists to help them with their time management, with the social media. So everything has changed in my life because of Cake Friends Stay Creative, for the good, because now I realize that it's not only about cakes. Like I said before, it's not my cake business doesn't have to do with cakes anymore. And on the side, I'm also, and I keep being an ESL teacher. I teach online, and I have my family, and I cook every day, and I clean my house, and I do everything else that a moms do. So yeah, it's fun. It has been a roller coaster of emotions, of knowledge, of many things. But it's also overwhelming, and it's time consuming. And with this, I'm going to leave you a small hint of what we will be talking on our next episode. We are going to be talking about time management. But today, I just wanted to give you a background of me, and especially of the Cake for Stay Creative, because what I want to share, especially with you on this episode, is how did I get to where I am today? Because I sat down and I thought about all the steps. Everybody will say, "Oh, because you created the group." But why did I create the group? What was the reason behind? I actually, a friend of mine asked me the other day on an interview, is like, "Why did you create it? Did you think, you thought about it? You had that in yours?" Like, no, I never thought about it. I just, it was the spur of a moment decision. I decided, like, well, people is getting depressed, people is getting sad, my friends are getting sad, we need to do something, let's create a group. That's it. I never thought about it, never thought the repercussions, I never thought how it was going to grow. Um but maybe by sharing to you with you, when I sat down and made a list of the things that helped me get to where I am today, and it's not only the group, maybe that can help you a little bit to, if you are at a point in your life that you want to turn things around. So let me tell you how I got to Cake Friends Stay Creative and to where I am today. The first thing I did is I created the group for, it wasn't a conscious reason, but it was one of the reasons. I wanted to get away from toxic groups on Facebook. Yes, there are toxic cake groups on Facebook. I'm sorry to say it, but it's true. Not gonna say names, but there are there is this culture of trying, like, if you want to be better at something, and I guess it's not only cake related. I think is a creative thing. It's from the creative world. If you want to be on top, you have to put people down, and I do not believe in that. I found that toxic, and like I said at the beginning of this episode, everything is about respect, about respecting every level. Be grateful and humble of your wins and your big in your victories. I think that's it. I really think that's it. I think that's all it is. It's being respectful. So there were some toxic groups where you will have to worship the whoever was in charge of the group and follow some weird crazy rules in order to be there. That it was almost bullying, and I was like, no, that's not for me. I mean, we bake cakes, people. Come on, cakes are supposed to make people happy, not to be a stress, not to, be in an eternal competition with everybody else. So that's one of the things that helped me open the group and take the decisions. I want to get away from that. I want to open my own thing, something that relates to what I believe. And what I did in the group, so that's my first recommendation is like get away from toxic people, toxic places, toxic clients, toxic relationships, toxic whatever. Get away from toxic. Then the second thing is when I think about it, I was me. It was me every day on that group, showing my face. It was just me, saying what I believe and being nice to people. That's all. And people started to respond to that because it was genuine. I'm not saying that, oh, because I'm genuine you're not. No. What I'm saying is we are all genuine in our own perfect little way. And when you show yourself genuinely, it's first is effortless because you don't have to think of a persona, or like, oh, I have to behave in a certain way, I have to look in a certain way. No, it's just me. And people related to that because everybody is their own me. So be yourself. Second advice, be yourself. Get away from toxic people or toxic whatever and be yourself. The third thing that I did was helping. Actually, what I was doing with the group, I thought I was like, oh, let me just create this group because, well, it's like, let's get together and we're bored. We have nothing to do in our homes. We're in the middle of a pandemic. And people sad. But actually, I was helping, and I was helping myself. Not only others, I was helping myself. I didn't realize that till later, that what I was doing unconsciously was to help me realize that I can do something else. I can help people. I can be there for others. It's fulfilling for me, and what they give me in return is 10,000 more valuable, more of a value than any, you know, diploma or recognition or whatever. So, helping others. So, let's recap. Get away from toxic things, relationship, people, whatever. Be yourself and help because it will come to you 1,000 times more. Then I built the community with the intention of, okay, let's stay together again. But when I realized is the intention was to help because no one helped me. That's it, as simple as that. I realized that during my 14 years as a cake decorator, nobody took the time. There was nothing, not much online. There were no mentors, there were nobody. And sadly, in many communities, when you try to reach for help, they will see you as a competition or as a threat. So they won't help you. They will actually close your doors. That happens. And tell me if I'm wrong. I don't think so. And it's funny because I talk to people from around the world, and this happens everywhere. everywhere. So the intention to build a community to help was actually because nobody helped me. And I was like, if I mean, I have to think, like I told you at the beginning of the episode, think of maybe somebody who's listening to this is me 10 years in the past. If somebody 10 years ago have told me, you can be part of K collaborations, you can be part of an international K community, you can do lives on Facebook, you can teach, you can have the right mindset, you can have your time management, figured out, and your social media and in cake skills. It was like, oh, thank you. So that's it. No one helped me. So I said, well, somebody has to help, right? So why not me? So let's recap. Away from toxic, be yourself, help others, and think about what would you have liked people to tell you or to help you when you were you 10 years ago. Get out of your comfort zone. That's another thing I did. I got out of my comfort zone. It was easier for me just to shut up and not do anything. I mean, we were in the pandemic. I just could have stayed and watched Netflix for 2 months and that's it. But no, I'm going to push myself. I'm going to get out of my comfort zone. I'm going to do something that I never done. I've never, up to that point, I never had a social media group. I never did a live anything on Facebook or YouTube or Instagram. And I learned new things. I learned new skills. I figured it out by myself. And then I start finding out more and more information. And I got to learn so much in these 2 years, things that I've never thought I could learn about marketing, about social media, about I mean, and I was a cake decorator at home. That's all I did. And a mom. That's it. And now I can talk to somebody about marketing strategies. It's like, wow, because I learned. I decided to learn new things. Let's recap one more time. Get away from toxic people or toxic anything. Be yourself. Help others. Build communities with intention or be there for people with intention to help, thinking about what you needed 10 years ago. Get out of your comfort zone and learn new things. Then, of course, is the mindset. Because when you realize that you're in front of 7,000 people from everywhere around the world, I mean, it could get into your head, people. It could be like, oh, I'm special. But having the right mindset and always every day reminding me that I'm thankful for what I have. I got here because I got out of my comfort zone and I worked for it. And there's always room for me to learn, and I'm still growing. That's the mindset that had kept my feet on the ground. And I'm always thinking, what's next? I'm not staying here. I'm not saying, okay, this is what I did in my life. I was the creator of Caje Friends Stay Creative, and now everybody has to know who I am. No, I still believe that I still don't believe people know who I am. And when people tell me that they know who I am, I'm like, really? You do? So um keep your feet on the ground, have the correct mindset, and finish a project, finish one thing, and always think, what can I do better? How can I improve? What's the next big thing? Um, Another very important thing is because when you get into an international cake world rodeo thing, you realize there are people with talent out there. There is like younger than you. I mean, more skilled than you because it does. And sometimes you can feel like, oh God, I'm never gonna. I mean, I'm 46 years old. I already done this much. I don't know. So, like I said at the beginning, don't feel that you're behind. You just haven't got there yet. And finally, people, your biggest competition is yourself, nobody else. Do you want me to recap? I don't know if you do, but I will anyway. So, stay away from toxic anything, people, relationship, clients, situations. Be yourself. That's what's going to set you apart from everybody else. Help others, help your community, be part of a community. Help others thinking that no one helped you and you want to help them is if they were you 10 years ago. Get out of your comfort zone, learn new things, have the right mindset. Think about this. is not that you're behind anybody, is that you just haven't got there yet. And you are your biggest competition. That is a little bit of what I hope you get from this episode today. Hope this helps you set some sort of goal and get there, or review your path and make you grateful for what you have accomplished. It's very important to stop, be thankful, and be grateful. Talking about accomplishment and doing many things, like I said before. What about next episode? We talk about time management. Believe me, that is the only way to keep doing everything that I do. So let me invite you to listen to the next episode, and maybe I could help you a little bit and how to organize your time to avoid the feeling of being overwhelmed and tired all the time. Sounds good? Sounds good to me. So I really hope to see you next episode. I'll leave you for now, but remember, as always, I say goodbye. Stay safe and stay creative, my friends. Bye bye.